If you aren't allowed to have a flipping clothes dryer, you're definitely not allowed an ice making machine, man. I'm surprised you're allowed to turn the fucking lights on. You guys always know that I love checking out culture shocks between the US and where I live, because let me tell you something, they're big. Today we're going to be checking out culture shocks living inside American homes. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing great. If we haven't met, my name is Adam, just like it says in the wall behind me. Let's jump in, baby.
Oh my god, that feels like heaven. I cannot believe I'm cold in Florida, but I am.
What?
It's
cold?
Just go to sleep like this. Hello everyone, I'm Anna, Slavic girl living in America, and today I'm gonna share with you 10 culture shocks I had inside American homes. First one is probably gonna be the most life-changing and important.
It's gonna be
dryer. I just
Wait, isn't clothes dryer everywhere? Well, I have one. Do many countries not have a clothes dryer? I thought she was gonna say garbage disposal in the sink. Okay.
just can't imagine going back to doing laundry without it.
Well, how do you do it?
I can't even tell you how much time it saves. In Russia, we have to wait at least a day to get the laundry done. Here, it's done in a couple of hours, and I always forget to check it when it's done because I'm just not used to it being done so fast. I'm used to waiting a day for the clothes to dry, and then you have to iron everything, and oh my god, it's such a pain. I just absolutely love it. It's like the best thing. That would be such a game changer, you know? I don't understand.
That would, like, I understand. That would be such a game changer. Going from, like, waiting for clothes to dry hang, or hang dry, whatever you want to call it. Just putting them in the dryer and they're drying. Like, can you imagine there's a t-shirt you really need to wear, want to wear, and you need to go somewhere, and you got to put it on the clothes rack for it to dry out? Get it in the dryer, man. It'll be done in 2 minutes.
And how it comes out so perfectly unwrinkled.
Soft and warm.
It's just magic. And of course, I've never had a warm blanket out of the dryer in my life. My first blanket out of a dryer. Oh my god. It's so warm. That feels like heaven. It's so fluffy.
Why do I feel sorry for her, man? What the hell and way are they living over in Russia, man? No clothes dryers.
This feels so good. I can just...
Surely in Russia it would make sense to have a clothes dryer. Ain't it just cold all the time there, man? In Russia it's freezing.
Go to sleep like this. This is amazing. When you Google clothes dryer in Russian, this is what comes up.
Oh my god.
This is not a joke.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
We use drying racks to dry our clothes or just dry them on the porches. This is very common.
Our country is living in 1952.
We don't have them at all. I'll tell you the reason why. While not mentioning that it would be too much of an electric bill for Russians, they freak out when they have to use ACs in the summer. They will suffer until the end, until they just can't take the heat anymore and turn it on for a couple of hours because it's just too expensive. This would just put them over the edge. But that's not the only reason. The main reason is our electric circuits are not designed for it. Basically, if we would just plug the dryer in, it would blow everything up. So, to be able to use something so powerful, we have to change.
Bro, is that country living 5 decades ago? What's going on? We're in 2025 and the electrical circuits in Russia. Massive country, massive wealth. Can't take a flipping clothes dryer.
Entire electrical circuit that also costs money and more problem. Something Russians just don't want to bother. They don't even understand it. They don't even trust it. They don't even consider this option. And I don't know why, because this is such an amazing thing. It really is in a mindset of people. They just feel like it's too much. Which brings me to my next point.
Okay, here we go.
Electric ovens. Same thing.
What?
With those, our electric circuits are not designed to manage this type of power. In order to install an electric oven, we have to change everything in the kitchen, all the circuits, even get permission to do that sometimes.
Permission to put a fucking oven in your house? Oh my god. Hey, I'm so glad you got out.
Personally, I've been using a gas oven my whole life. Coming here and finally using an electric oven, it is such a big difference. The baking is so much better.
I feel like this girl could probably equate her moving from Russia to the US from going from second class on the Titanic to first class. I feel like that's probably what you could, except it doesn't sink. You know what I mean? You know, in terms of class, you know?
Because the temperature is equal in each part of the oven. Everything just bakes so much better, rises better, and doesn't burn. Also, ovens here are super big.
I don't think this girl should go back to Russia ever again, man. Because I think she'd be in trouble.
Used to the sizes, and it's so cool that I can actually bake.
I think if the
2
Russians see
pies
this video,
at the
they ain't
same
gonna be happy,
time.
man.
Just before I left Russia, we got a half and half oven, meaning the oven itself was electric and the stove was still gas. I personally didn't understand why we had to go through this. Why not just get electric everything?
Yeah, I
but
agree.
of course, oh, it's gonna be too expensive. We can't afford that.
Yo, what are they doing over in Russia, man? They just spending all their money in the military. They won't even let people have a flipping oven.
Now let's talk about central AC. Oh my god. We only have wall units in Russia.
We don't have
to
any.
Install it in each room.
If you want to get cooled down, you
each
go
room
outside.
To be air conditioned. Otherwise, everyone comes into this one room that has AC, and we just chill there. Not everyone can.
So hold on a minute, guys. I don't think I've questioned this before. You see your AC units, the big one that sits in the windows. Can they also heat the room up? In my head, for some reason, I think it's just for cold air. Can they do both? Now I know why it's so great. If the answer to that is yes, it does heat rooms, now I understand. I want one.
Can afford to install AC in each room, and that's what ended up happening. Having one system for the entire house is amazing. You just set the temperature.
That's pretty cool, to be fair.
Oh, that's better. And it equals out all rooms at once, and this is so cool. I love it.
Nice.
The only problem is we fight for the temperature because everything is like too cold for me. My spouse likes it
How can it be too
70,
cold coming from
and
Russia?
this is like freezing cold. I just can't handle this.
Do you guys prefer being a little bit too cold or a little bit too warm? I would probably say I prefer being a little bit too cold. I don't know whether it's because I'm used to being cold in this country. Well, I'm not used to being cold. I'm definitely not used to being warm, though. You know what I mean? We're like in between, closer to the cold side all year round, except for a couple of weeks during summer. It gets nice. What do you guys prefer? A little bit too cold or a little bit too warm? Let me know.
And yes, everyone's like, "You're from Russia. What do you mean? Why are you so cold? You can't be cold, you're Russian." That's
feel like she heard me, man.
right, I forgot about that. Now suddenly I'm not cold. Thanks to this central AC, I am wearing a sweater inside the house.
That was a really bad stereotype, but I feel like it might be right, though. Now, I understand, though. You're a human being. Cold is cold. I don't feel like you can ever not be cold. You can adjust to the mental aspect of it. You can adjust knowing you're going to be cold, so it's never a shock as to when you get cold. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
In Florida, even when it's 90 degrees outside. Also, Russians believe that if you sit under AC too long, you're gonna get sick. In Russia, I didn't get to use AC very much.
I'm sorry, a what?
Here,
Oh, AC? I thought she said a sea, as in the sea. I thought that she meant like the Russians told her not to go to the sea because it makes you sick. The whole AC thing, I feel like it does make you sick. I also think it depends on the country. I know it may sound bad, but some countries have better airs than others, man. You know what I mean? So, for example, in Turkey, I know I got sick a couple of times because of the aircon overnight. You leave it on. Probably shouldn't have left it on. But I feel like it's chucking out that dirty ass air at you. And you swallow it, and then you're getting throat infection, and then your holiday's ruined. Happened a couple of times. Is what it is, but I think she's right, man.
overhead showers. In America, almost every house has this overhead shower that you cannot move, and
As opposed to what? Under your arse?
this was a culture shock for me. I am used to handheld showers that are adjustable, and that's kind of what...
Can you not hang them? I mean, the one in my house is both. You can hook it up or, stick it down and clean your ass, whatever you need to do, man.
every Russian home has. unless they don't have a shower at all, which also is kind of common. I personally can't imagine not having a shower at
I'm
all,
happy for this
but
lady,
some
man.
people
I'm happy
don't
for her,
even
bro.
bother
I like it.
installing They just take baths. They don't even have sinks most of the time. They just do everything in a bathtub, wash their hands there, and, well,
What do you mean you
baths.
don't have a
So that's
sink?
why my spouse installed this shower
Yep.
especially for me. Also,
Aw.
one thing that I noticed about American bathrooms that I couldn't put my finger on what that was, but they look so neat and so perfect. And I figured it out. There are no pipes shown. In Russia, we have all our pipes out.
No!
Even the hot water.
Don't put your pipe away, brother. Come on.
Everything is out there. We don't hide them in the walls. And you have to be
What do you
careful if
mean?
you take a hot shower and touch that pipe.
Hold on a minute. Good God. Like, if you're sitting down here doing a poo, man, your knees are nearly touching. What's that?
That burns. But here, everything is
That is
hidden and
wild.
everything just looks so neat and tidy, and I love that. Almost every American household has a coffee machine. This
Yeah.
is so normal and common
See, the coffee in America, I don't know what it is. It looks so much better. We don't have a coffee machine. I wish we had one, no.
here that it's not considered a luxury like it is in Russia. In Russia, it is more like a status symbol.
What?
To show a person that you are wealthy enough to afford a coffee machine. This is definitely not an everyday item.
So if you have a coffee machine in Russia in your kitchen, you're considered rich. What is that country, man? What the excuse my French, is going on over there, bro? Someone send us the news over.
Mostly use French presses or instant coffee most of the time, which I cannot stand. But
yeah, instant coffee. I ain't gonna lie, man. Whenever I usually go to my, I don't have, like I just said, I don't have a coffee machine. So if I'm making coffee in my house, it's instant coffee. It tastes like ass juice. It's disgusting. And I feel like the more I've got older, the more I realize that it actually is disgusting. It's horrendous. I go like 30 seconds down the road and I get one freshly made and it's beautiful. It's cheap too. Not that cheap, but
I cannot stand. But
bad.
I personally use French press. Even here, like, we have a coffee machine, but it's like...
See, that's exactly what I want.
Brew a whole pot for just
Darn.
2 people. And French press is kind of faster. I don't know, that's just what I'm used to. But I love coffee machines too. It's very cool because they can stay heated up. And it's very cool when you...
This may sound really stupid and it just makes me look like such a tourist. I am. Sue me. But see when people say in like the movies and stuff... TV shows, you know, let's say somebody comes down and they're in a, like, if they came down, there's somebody already in the kitchen, you know, they're reading the newspaper, and they would say to the person who just came down, the coffee's still hot. Like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know why I really like that. It just makes me feel cozy. I'm a fucking weirdo, man. So, I just love it. I just, because it just makes me think of where is it? This.
2 people, and
you know
French
what I mean?
press is kind of faster. I don't know, that's just what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But I love coffee machines too. It's very cool because they can stay heated up. And it's very cool when you have guests over. This one is also super life-changing. Garbage disposals
Oh my God, I knew
in
it.
the sinks. I don't want to go
I
back
want
to
them.
not having one.
I don't
because
even
let me
have it,
just
and I don't
tell you,
either.
We just have this drain plates covers. After we wash our plates, with all the pieces of food and everything that's left over, ends up in this drain. And
I bet you they don't have dishwashers in Russia either, man. Oh my God.
you have to empty
They are living in poverty
and
over
throw
there,
it
bro.
in the garbage. And this is
What
the
way are they living? I'm
grossest
not saying it's bad to not have a dishwasher. Hey, each to their own. I didn't have one in my house for 2.5 years. I only got one about 6 months ago. But I mean, talking about having no electric oven, not allowed a flipping clothes dryer, and now they don't got dishwasher. So that's 3 things those 3 things combined make your life in the house so much harder. Yep.
part of doing dishes in Russia. I couldn't stand it. Here, you just dump everything inside and push the
crazy.
button, and it's gone.
That's the
Super
best.
easy and convenient.
I'm so jealous.
So yeah, we throw all the leftovers and stuff in the garbage or in our toilets, which is incredibly bad for the water system. So in Europe, people came up with something more eco-friendly, which I don't know if you heard about it.
What?
This is something called vermicomposter. It's a French word. It's basically a box full of worms.
Wait, what?
And you feed your worms with leftover food, which in a
No, I'm putting it in the bin. Fuck that. I am not keeping a box of worms in my house where I feed my food scraps to, bro. That sounds psychotic. And you know what else? That is such a French thing to do, man. Oh my goodness.
super environmentally
No, it's going in the bin.
friendly. You just basically...
If I don't have a food disposal machine in the sink, it's going in the bloody bin, mate. I'm not fucking keeping worms at home. What am I, Dr. Doolittle? Dr. Doolittle is for the animals. Yeah, aye.
feed your worms. This doesn't pollute the water system, doesn't end up in the garbage where it cannot be decomposed. It is super good
Maybe not, but it means you also have a flipping worm zoo in your home.
for the environment.
Nope.
But also kind of weird and gross.
Yep.
But then, of course, worms procreate and
Yeah, and
you
then
end up with more and more worms.
Exactly.
And like, what do you do with them? Well, you just sell them to other people
no, I'll tell you why the French made it up. Because the more worms around, they will literally fry them up and put them into a fucking sandwich.
who want to help the planet.
The
I
French
think I'd
will
much
eat
rather
them.
install a, garbage disposal.
Yes.
So one time we stayed in an Airbnb here, and I couldn't figure out what was making this creepy, scary, ghost-like noise
Was
at
it?
night. I was just terrified. I was like, what is that? What's going on? And then I figured out that it was coming from a refrigerator. And it was an ice maker. I really started thinking we had a ghost in our Airbnb,
This
but
is another thing that I wish we had here too. I mean, you can get fridges that have an ice maker in them, but our fridge doesn't.
no,
Our
it
fridge
was
just about has a
making
fucking door.
ice. I've never seen an ice maker in Russia. I mean, I'm sure they might sell it, but it would be probably too much trouble
they
to
wouldn't
set
allow
it
you.
up and hook the pipes
Too much
and
electric.
everything, since
You wouldn't be allowed to.
we don't hide anything behind the walls.
So
But
you aren't allowed to have a flipping clothes dryer. You're definitely not allowed an ice making machine, man. I'm surprised you're allowed to turn the fucking lights on.
Americans really, really love ice in everything.
He doesn't.
In Russia, it's absolutely normal to serve drinks without any ice. But here, every drink, everything comes with ice.
I love ice, man, but the ice is used to scam you, though. You know what I mean? Like, look at that photograph. Do you know how much drink would be left in this if they took the ice cubes out of it? Probably about under half. So these fucking corporations fill up half and then throw the ice in. Or they probably put the ice in first and then just fill it up with juice until it looks full. They got you. They got us. They got us. And they did here too, man. They did everything.
Drink, everything comes with ice. Even at home, you've gotta have it.
Yep.
Even for like injuries, we don't use ice, we use like frozen vegetables. And of course, while we're talking about the kitchen, I've also noticed that Americans really love having lots of gadgets. And let me tell you, I do
Kitchen gadgets?
too. For example, food processor is one of my favorites. Making
Blender?
soups became so much easier. Making
Oh.
cutlets is so much faster. I mean, we mostly grate.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Hey, I ordered a waffle machine. Never had a waffle in my life. It's coming tomorrow. What waffle recipes should I make that you guys would enjoy? Let me know. I've never had a waffle in my life. Help me out. What should I make? And I'll do a video on it. Let me know in the comments.
Everything and always cut everything by hand, and all the appliances are not super common, probably because it's too expensive. Not a lot of people can afford that. You would probably find all that in like rich people's homes for sure, but it's not common at all. Here, finally using all these different appliances has made cooking for me so much easier. They have like your own ice cream makers, air fryers, mini ovens. It's just very interesting and so cool.
It's kind
And
of
last but not
kinda
least,
crazy, man.
overhead fans. I don't know why, but
we don't
every
got them.
Russian is super fascinated by them because we don't have those at all.
They scare the shit out of me.
I have been on the phone with my spouse, constantly like looking at them. I don't know, it's just so neat looking.
I feel like they're one of those things where you just kind of want to, just you're seeing a wall and then there's a sign on that says wet paint don't touch.
I'm here talking to my family and friends, and it's showing on the background of my phone. They're all like, oh my god, like, why are you running it even when it's cold?
It's just a flipping
Well,
fan.
because it's for air circulation. Believe it or not, it works. and it helps.
How-
It really efficiently cools down the room.
See, I don't understand how it can cool down a room if it's just swirling the air that's already in the room. Does it actually cool your rooms down, guys? Because we don't have them over here, man. Now, I've never been in a house in Northern Ireland, but it has one of those things on the roof. So does it actually work?
Just so much faster with the fan on. So those were my culture shocks. Maybe they were everyday things for you that you're absolutely used to.
Ah.
But for me, all this is incredibly new, and I am loving all of these new things.
I absolutely love how her life has changed by moving to America, man. Bro, I don't know about you, but living in Russia sounds a bit shit, doesn't it? Jesus, man, couldn't be me. Anna, glad you made the move to the US. I'm very jealous, but also very happy for you. That was a really cool video. You know what the biggest shock about all them was? The actual how they live in Russia, bro. Not allowed a clothes dryer, not allowed to blow an electric oven, or if you have a coffee machine, it makes you rich. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Appreciate it as always. Love you. Goodbye.